Hey y'all, welcome back. I'm April and today we are going to do part 2 of our inkjet transfer tutorial. If you saw our last one, we showed you how to use our inkjet transfers for whites. Today we are looking at our inkjet transfers for colors and darks. So we're going to get started. Okay, so what we have is we have our shirt that we're going to be pressing on, our directions for our transfers for darks, our transfer, and a sheet of parchment paper, weeding tools. So the first thing you want to notice on your directions is you're going to use the print and cut feature from your cutting machine. You don't have to. You can trim around this with scissors, but it will show if it's jagged, and I cannot cut a straight line, so I use my print and cut feature. Print on the white side of your transfer, and you're not going to mirror your image. So as you see, I printed it exactly the way that it's going on the shirt. So again, I've used my print and cut feature, so I'm just going to go ahead very quickly. And I use the Silhouette Cameo, y'all, and so whenever I cut this, I put it on the washi setting. And then mine automatically went to a pressure of 17. I actually bumped that all the way down to 4 because whenever I used the 17 pressure, it cut all the way through my transfer. So I didn't want it to cut all the way through. I wanted to be able to weed it and then get my transfer myself. So there we go. We've got that weeded. And now we're going to get ready to press. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our shirt to the press and we're going to do a pre-press. So I have pre-pressed my shirt, and whenever you read your directions, it tells you to turn your heat press on to 320 degrees. And I pre-pressed it for 3 to 4 seconds. And that is that's a pretty critical step, because when you do your pre-press, you are not only ironing your shirt, getting out any wrinkles, but you're also removing any moisture that is locked into the fabric. And so what I'm doing now is trying to get my transfer, there we go, off of the backing, off of the transfer paper. And I love these tweezers, y'all. I use them for so much. And I like to put my transfer on while it's not on the press, because the heat from the press can cause these dark transfers to curl a little bit. So I'm able to get it on here, get it straight, put my parchment paper over it. And now, because we do have to move it back to the press, this is an optional item. I use my heat tape to tape it down, and I tape down the parchment paper rather than taping directly onto the transfer. I have tried taping onto the transfer, and then whenever I lifted it, some of the image from the transfer came off onto my heat tape. So I put the parchment paper over it, tape it down, and now we're going to take it to the heat press. All right, guys, so after we did our press, I put it here, and with these transfers, you have to let it cool completely. Like, not for a second or two where it's still warm. Let it sit until it completely is cool to the touch. And then you're going to get your parchment paper, and you want to remove it quick and easy. One smooth, quick move. And then there you are. You have your transfer pressed onto your shirt. Completely lost my train of thought there for a second, guys. I'm so sorry. And so if you saw our transfer for whites, then you know that this process is a little bit faster. I personally don't do the transfers for darks in a lot of pieces, because you have to transfer them. That's why this design that I have here, I actually made this background for it to go on so that it would be one solid piece to place onto my shirt and press down without having to try to get individual pieces lined up where they need to go. So again, with these transfers, the key once you get them pressed is your care. Care instructions are on your direction sheet whenever you get them from us. And number 1, wait the 24 hours before washing. I know it's so tempting to go ahead and put it in the wash, but you want to wait that 24 hours. Wash it in cold water, and I recommend a color catcher. And let me show y'all. because the last time I did this and I said the color catcher, I had a lot of people tell me that they didn't know what that was. So this is a color catcher. It's just a sheet. It's like a fabric softener sheet, except it goes into the washing machine, and if you have colors that bleed, this is going to catch it, hence the name color catcher. And that's going to keep your clothes from getting any of the coloring if it comes off of the ink, coloring from the shirt. It's going to be here rather than on your laundry. No bleach, no fabric softener. Hang it up to dry, very important. Hang it up to dry if you want it to last. If you put it in the dryer, it will start to crack, and nobody wants that. And then again, if you need to iron it, you're gonna flip it either inside out or put parchment paper on the top. So now I'm gonna show you, just like before, I have a shirt that I've already done. It's already been washed, and I want you to be able to compare the two. So this is the one that we just did. And this is the one, and here we are, and you can tell because it's got quite the wrinkles on it, that has already been through the wash a couple of times. I've washed this one twice, and so I'm going to continue to wash it here and there just so that I can see the life of the transfer. But you can see just how great they work. And if I were going to wear this, I would probably put it on the heat press, cover it with my parchment paper, and just do a quick 3-4 second press to get out the wrinkles, and then you're ready to go again. All right guys, as always, I hope you found our information useful, and until next time, we'll see you then.